Dear friends, we get to know about the earthquakes happening in India, and in Delhi NCR recently we are getting very small earthquakes but large in numbers. Now this may be a signal of a very big earthquake coming. Now, what would happen to the structural safety of the buildings where we live or reside if a very big earthquake comes? Now it is a matter of safety of all of us. Now how would we ensure the structural safety? The government regulations and government departments are asking for the structural stability certificates. Now, structural stability certificate has to be issued by a structural engineer. Now, how the structural engineer would issue a structural stability certificate, the process we should all know, because it is there should not be any shortcut in this. If we are really serious about the safety of our premises building, we should follow certain steps. Now, the certain steps which should be followed are as I am going to take up now. The first step is the critical visual inspection or the critical visual survey. Now, this visual survey is to be done by a competent structural engineer. The structural engineer visits the premises, checks all the structurally dominating areas which may be critical. There may be some cracks in the slabs or walls or chhajjas, balconies. There may be some locations where the concrete is falling. There may be steel rusting, reinforcement rusting indications. There may be some structural weaknesses. There may be weakness in stiffness of the buildings. There may be n number of points that might be required by the professional structural engineer to see. Now, based on this visual inspection, the basic structural mapping is done and the assessment of the non-destructive test, in short we call it as NDTs. Why NDTs? Because these are not the destructive tests. These are non-destructive tests which are not going to harm the building, but these tests will get us information about the strength of the concrete, the strength of the reinforcement steel, the condition of the concrete inside, the probability of rusting, and so many other information that might be required. Some of the NDTs I can list that generally being done is rebound hammer test, ultrasonic pulse velocity test, half cell potentiometer test, carbonation test, core sampling is done to take laboratory test for the compressive strength of concrete. Then you have capo test, and there are so many other tests that might be required, and these are decided based on the visual survey, or we call as critical visual survey. So first step is critical visual survey, then next step is non-destructive tests. So as per the requirements, non-destructive tests need to be taken up by a proper setup of laboratory and the NDT testing agencies. Now we are now reaching to the next step. This next step number 3 is structural analysis and design. Now here the structural analysis design is done in two parts. First, structural analysis and design would be done based on the available inputs. Now available inputs should be the available architectural drawings, structural drawings, which would include foundation details, column details, reinforcements of beam, slab, staircases, and so on. So whatever is the structural information available, that will be considered as input. The non-destructive tests would give their values of strength and condition of the building. That will again be the part of our input, and our building will be designed for those inputs. So that will give us the available strength or available capacity. Now we have to design for the required capacity. Say our buildings are coming in earthquake zone 4, and in earthquake zone 4 we have to consider the earthquake forces as per this applicable IS 1893. So we will design the building as if the building is to be constructed new, and based on those requirements with the latest standards, we want to assess the desired required capacities. So that we can call as demand. So as per the required latest standards, whatever requirements are coming, that is the demand. And whatever the building already has is the available capacity. So if the demand level is this one and the available capacity is this one, so we need to strengthen the system. So strengthening design need to be done. Now based on the strengthening, our system would be safe. Now somebody would ask that if the strengthening I have to take up, so it will make us compromise a lot of space as well as inconvenience would be there. So I want to tell that nowadays state-of-art technologies are available which occupy very little space and cause very little inconvenience very fast to strengthen the systems. So based on the demand and the available capacity, a competent structural engineer can decide upon the strengthening requirements, if any. Suppose the building is quite fine, then probably no strengthening is required. But if certain areas are weak, those areas can be strengthened. If the building is very weak, then strengthening needs would be more and more. That will depend on the conditions of the existing building. Now, once this structural strengthening design is done, then the next part is the execution of the strengthening. So whatever requirements or details come up after the analysis, the execution agency, which should again be a competent execution agency, the competent agency should execute the strengthening, and the same need to be validated. And after one ensures that the complete strengthening is done as per the required standards, then the structural engineer can issue a certificate of the structural stability, and that will ensure your structural safety as per the National Building Code or Indian standards. So this is the complete procedure. I am repeating the steps. First step is the critical visual survey. Second step is the non-destructive test. Third step is the structural analysis and design. Fourth step is design for the strengthening if required. Fifth step is execution as per the strengthening requirements. And the last step is the validation and certification. So with this, the structural engineer can certify the building as per the given National Building Code and other Indian standards for the earthquake safety. So this is all about the procedure. If you like this video, please like and subscribe our channel so that whatever information we are sharing, it reaches you quickly. Thank you all. Bye.